Hi there, my name is Ismail from Pearl Lemon. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to check whether your sitemap is actually helping your SEO or quietly hurting it. Most websites automatically generate a sitemap and never look at it again, but Google uses this file as instructions for what pages you want indexed. If the wrong pages are in your sitemap, you may be telling Google to crawl useless pages instead of important ones. Now, the first thing we need to do after we open Google Search Console is to go to the Sitemaps report. This is where your website communicates directly about which pages exist on your site. Now, from here, we go, this is the list of sitemaps that have been submitted. So this sitemap here has been read by Google. Now, the next thing we need to do is to open the sitemap. So you copy this link right here and then you paste it in another tab. And right here is the sitemap. Now, if we are looking at the actual sitemap file, this is basically a list of URLs your website is asking Google to crawl and index. As you can see, it's quite a long list. Ideally, this file should contain your important pages, pages you actually want to rank. And for the most part, these are service pages, your static service pages, and then blog pages. Now, this is the important part of the lesson. You go back to Google Search Console and then you go back to your pages where it shows the amount of pages indexed and the amount of pages not indexed. This number shows how many pages you told Google about and how many Google actually accepted into its search index. If there's a big difference between submitted and indexed, then Google is rejecting many of your pages. So right here we have 27 indexed and here we have 24 URLs in the sitemap totally. So that means that we actually have an opposite problem in the sense that we have three keywords that were not listed in our sitemap that have been, you know, added into the website. But then I just saw something right here. If you, as you can see, this is the post sitemap. So it's just one part of our our sitemap because we have pages also. So if we go back to the sitemap index and we see a major issue here in that there are only posts here. So even the static pages of the website are not on there. So now aside posts, let's see the other three pages that are currently ranking. The services page, the home page, and probably the book a call page or the contacts page. So as you can see, we have compared what is showing in the sitemap index to what is on the website, to what is on Google Search Console to see that there is a disparity between what we have submitted to Google and what Google is actually ranking. And we have exposed a major problem, which is that we are not we have not submitted our service pages to Google. Because if we go back here to sitemaps, we can see that the only sitemap here is this sitemap. The only sitemap that has been read is the Brim assessment post sitemap, which is a major problem. So now Another thing you need to look out for is tag pages, filtered search results, duplicate URLs on the sitemap, thin content pages, redirected URLs, parameter pages. So if you look at that and you see any one of these categories of pages, then you need to remove them from your sitemap. Tag pages especially, then filtered search results. Let's say someone searches for something specific on your website and it shows up on the and there's a URL for it and it shows up on your sitemap. That is a problem. Duplicate URLs, a problem. Pages that are 301 to another page, problem. You need to put in the actual URL that is being redirected to. When Google keeps finding low quality or useless pages in your sitemap, two things will happen. Firstly, your crawl budget is wasted, and secondly, Google loses confidence in your site structure. And this hurts rankings because you have to think of your sitemap as a priority list you're handing to Google. If you include weak pages, Google spends time crawling those pages instead of your service pages or your important pages. Many websites struggle to rank not because their content is bad, but because Google is busy crawling junk pages. A good sitemap should mainly include service pages, key landing pages, and important blog posts. It should not include automatically generated pages or any internal pages. So now, how do we fix this problem? Well, firstly, we go to our entire sitemap here, and as you can see, only the post sitemap is included. So we might have to log into our WordPress website to see what is going on in the backend. So here we are at the back end of the website. For most WordPress sites, the sitemaps are being generated by either Rank Math or Yoast, whichever SEO tool you are using amongst the two. So for this site, we are using Rank Math. So right here, from Rank Math, we come all the way here to sitemap settings. So now we are here in sitemap settings and we will see post types. So posts, as you can see, posts are included in the sitemap, but pages are not included in the sitemaps. So now that's a major problem that has been fixed. Categories, you need to make sure categories are, because we are excluding automatically generated pages. So categories, tags should be excluded. Attachments should be excluded. Floating elements excluded. You only want your pages and your posts. So for HTML sitemaps also, we just check and make sure everything is okay. But now that we've included pages, we can save our changes. And now if you come here and refresh, you see that your pages are now in your sitemap. So now we have 21 pages and um, 24 blog posts that should be added into the index pages on Google Search Console. So now the next thing we need to do is copy the link and try and resubmit it so that we can trigger a recrawl. So here you enter sitemap URL, you paste it and you submit. And that's it. So once that is done, we will see, once the crawling process is complete, we will see that the discovered pages will be more than 24, and then we will be able to have all the pages that we need to rank indexed on Google. Here's the simple audit. Firstly, you open sitemaps in Google Search Console, you compare submitted to indexed, you open your sitemaps and you check the types of pages inside. Your sitemap is not just technical, it directly influences what Google spends time crawling. Before trying advanced SEO tactics, make sure that you are not accidentally guiding Google to the wrong pages first. You need to make sure that Google is going to the right pages so that the crawl budget will not be wasted. Thank you so much for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Goodbye.